of the game, but top esports, they should be able to create advantages for themselves between that 15 to 25 minute mark.
Yeah, I look at this comp, and they got this in a pick ban, by the way, and I'm like, this is a million times better than Game 1. You know?
Yeah. Oh, you compare it to Game 1, and Gen.G have won the game. This is beautiful.
Comparatively, it's just no contest. Like, you get so many different great parts. It just works so much better as a team, too. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see how the results do come through. I'm curious about that Kennen blind pick. That was the one thing that kind of left me scratching my head. Of course, it can open the fight pretty well for Azir to kind of sweep up afterwards, and Ezreal is also great at team fight cleanup, so...
And they've got the AoE damage and the collateral damage and the True Shot Barrage, things like that. There is a lot of options here. See how it works in game number 2.
Yeah, here we are, game 2. That's a nice skin. The RNG logos being flashed, as well as the Flash Wolves.
Karsa just going back through his repertoire of teams that he's had success on. I was played for Flash Wolves for so incredibly long. I still just associate Karsa with Maple.
Yeah.
In my brain. They are just a duo. Hasn't played with Maple for a little while now. Okay. Now we're into the real game. I was talking to Cloud Templar backstage, and he was like, it's okay, event match. And he was, of course, referring to last series, which FPX managed to reverse sweep, I guess, after a loss in Game 1. So maybe, just maybe, Gen.G can do their best FPX impression. And look, world champions as well, they have that in common. Good old FPX and Gen.G. It was a little bit more recently, though, for FPX, and Gen.G's roster has changed a lot in that time. Let's see how this early game is going to go. As Clid starting off in the enemy jungle, and Karsa completely unaware of what's happening here. They don't have the deep vision.
There is a ward there on the red, but
it's a yeah, that's true. So maybe they couldn't see it.
It looks like it was like on the edge, like just barely not covering the pit. So now this is
a lot of damage from the end of the line. Clid stealing away the big Raptor. Karsa, his jungle has been just obliterated. As now JackeyLove down to about 100 health. Good exhaust onto Ruler. He's also going low. JackeyLove with a lot of extra range in that Calibrum, now turning his attention to Kennen. Both AD carries very low, eating through their pots. Biscuit in hand for Ruler. Some biffo early here in this game so far.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Karsa right now. He had his red taken away. He wasted a bit of time. He didn't clear the Raptors.
The Raptors were denied by Clid. Karsa let Clid have them and then decided that he'd do his best to leave the area and try and get what he can, but it's not happening. Good playback. It's Kennen down very low. Flash has to be blown. There's good exhaust onto JackeyLove. Mystic shot is weaved, and JackeyLove goes down. 2v2 kill this time for Gen.G bottom lane.
I love the thumbs down too. It's like, get out of here. We were just joking, you know.
Not this time.
Just
Where's
Jake's in the blind. In the blind. Oh,
well,
Taric
they say that Kellen's dead. Yep. Maybe we need to bring Blind back. I don't know.
Yeah, and then the monster jumps out at you in Scary Movie.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really just mechanical outplay, 2v2 straight up from Ruler and Kennen. They were already having that biffo you were talking about,
and they used one exhaust to do that. That's all they invested. Now, Knight getting electrocuted here by BDD, taking a bit more of a powerful 1v1 summoner spell on his Azir, and he's already putting on so much pressure here in this lane. Right, with Battlestar now not aimed at the minion wave, which is going to get a lot of time and space and also deny him so many of these creeps. Damn, BDD he's angry. The beast has been angered, Valdez. And I would certainly worry for anyone that's going to be facing BDD later in solo queue as well.
Yeah, if you're at that level where you're facing BDD and solo queue, you're probably not watching this. There's probably like a couple of you guys out there, but it's a very limited supply of people that actually do get that honor of being at that level.
You don't know. I mean, Faker might be at home watching this.
Yeah, you think so? Hi, maybe. Faker.
Chovy. Not our broadcast, but
well, I mean,
a MSC broadcast, you know. JackeyLove pinged out there. Pretty connection from Ruler. Back being channeled by Karsa as well. So Karsa, after playing the Trundle, now on the Rek'Sai. Not super excited about his jungle picks so far this series. The Graves from Clid needs to get more work done. So far, he's been farming more camps. That is definitely a thing. And you can see Ruler's not ahead by too much. Bit of a back being picked up by JackeyLove and yuyanjia, so they don't want to press too far forward. Just a pickaxe there in the hands of the Aphelios, but it's more battle stats than the tier that Ruler collected. As we have a look at this 2v2 kill once again.
Yeah, you just got to watch Ruler from here. JackeyLove, it's the end of the exhaust. He sticks around, and Ruler's like, you're standing not behind minions. I can hit everything at you. And Ruler's just mindfulness to notice that and to be able to outplay it and take advantage of JackeyLove's mistake was quite nice.
Well, there's the flash knock-up as Rascal's going to flash eventually. 369 looks for it. Doesn't get the last auto. And Rascal will make it out with his life.
Well, we got to see the replay on that one. I was like, does he have Conqueror? Like, what is going on? Like, how is he generating so much health? I feel like maybe he had like a health pot, and he has the rune that.
Yeah, Time Warp Tonic.
Yeah,
he might have actually used his refillable there as Karsa gets back towards the top side, flash forward from Clid, but he doesn't get the auto off. And now Rascal looks for the Q. He's not going to find a great knock-up. Finally, the auto comes in, but the health pot had done its work, and that was. There's a word to use for that. I don't want to use it.
Enormous.
Here. Not great. Not great at all.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of.
369 is just proving that he's way better than Rascal right now.
Yeah, he's really showing that to us right now. He's got the right champion for it, too. And Clid's the one that starts this all off. He's calling for it, probably.
Controlled by minions really hard here as Clid flashes. I think that was while the CC of the knock-up was happening by Karsa. That's why it looked like he cancelled autos. This was really well played by Tav.
Got that second knock-up, and that's just really good news now for the top lane, and especially for the Rek'Sai. Take a look at Karsa. He went down bottom, took advantage of the sticking around that the bottom lane of Ruler and Kennen did, and then he's in the perfect position to counter gank up in the top side. So really, we were talking about all the members of Top Esports and what they offer to the team, and we mentioned how Karsa's, he's good. He's got a great, legacy. Essentially, he's been around forever. But we weren't really saying that he was the main carry of the team. But in this game, he is really the guy that's always in the right place at the right time and has been able to, spare the blushes of his teammates.
Yeah, precisely. Ruler now goes back and collects himself the Manamune, which is actually a lot of battle stats all at once, as Karsa is going to use that advantage that he had to take down this Ocean Drake, first Drake of the game. The second one's going to be Infernal coming up next. Cloud will be the one after that. No Mountains today. As Clid waiting to see when this bottom lane is going to come back. Kennen checks the brush, clears out a control ward. And not going to be diving any turrets right now. So Ruler, he's in a good spot. Does have that extra kill available, and about a minion wave ahead as far as CS, and on his Ezreal. So mid-game going to be good. Clid trying to find yuyanjia, but no dazzles this time. True Shot Barrage just slicing through the bottom lane of top.
It's a very squishy bot lane. Even Thresh, before he gets some items, can be a bit squishy. And you can see that damage was quite nice, so it's going to push them back. Ruler's going to be able to pick up one of these plates. But Karsa's here again. He's level 6 already. Looking to get some work done.
Yeah, you can see Ruler almost baited in there. As Karsa Channeling the back for the minute. In fact, everyone going for a reset. This is going to be a plate opportunity for Gen.G. As Kennen looks further forward. No bubbles onto BDD this time, but I believe he ate one relatively recently. And he's got teleport, I believe. So does need to be a little bit careful of these picks from the Zoe in the mid game. This is a very different game to last game. Last game, Ruler was anemic because he was playing a late game AD carry against a lethality Varus that is not going to really let you play the game, right? Now he's on Ezreal, will have a big mid-game impact, and him and BDD might be able to take control of this game. It's just 369 and Karsa that are destroying Rascal so far this series. That is going to be the big thing to look out for here on the side of top esports.
Yeah. Just packing their bags, essentially, filling them up with gold.
Yeah.
As another plate will fall to the Jayce.
And now, more of those plates should be falling down here as well, as Karsa looking to try and snowball the Jayce even further in this game. Should be able to grab Agatha and then move over and lock that one down. Decides he doesn't want to, actually. Oh, no. He's channeling the back for a second. Knight turns up. He's going to collect some of that money as well. They will be able to grab first turret. And a whole bunch of plates here also. 1,000 gold lead based on the amount of work that Karsa's done earlier on in this game. And we often talk down a bit to this Rek'Sai pick, but so far in this early game, they've been using it exactly how Rek'Sai is supposed to be used.
Yeah.
She just does roll over early games if you can get into the right positions.
Exactly. It's like the Rek'Sai dream, essentially. And it's very good into a jungle that you're going up against in Graves, who is going to be looking to just sit back, AoE farm up, scale up, and be more of a menace compared to you in the later stages. But if you're the one being, you know, if this were solo queue and you're the Graves, you've died once, and the enemy jungle has 3-0, there would be that one guy who's in the chat, he's like jungle difference already, you know?
Or he's like FF15.
Yeah, you know, it's solo queue, so
yeah.
There's always going to be some of that fun stuff. But definitely, I'm sure, you know, some people would be feeling that jungle difference already. But as you mentioned, I think the Ezreal Azir is still going to provide more as the game does come along. And if Gen.G can just hold on, we've seen a little bit of that today from some of the LPL teams earlier, where it's like they have this comp that scales really well. And then they're like, I think it was JDG, they dive in with the package, and they have a Sivir who has only Caulfield's Warhammer.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're forcing a fight for no reason. And then they just got wiped, and then they lost the game from there. Like, Gen.G's going to play, they're going to play smarter than that. They're an LCK team that are just used to scaling, and so they'll feel more comfortable doing it. And I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, Ruler tries to flex a little bit down on the bottom side, but other than that, it should just be Gen.G trying to sit back and scale.
Yeah, should indeed be. Ruler will be parked in the mid lane for mid-game, and should be relatively immovable. I think Ezreal is a fantastic pick into the Rek'Sai with what she wants to do as well, because of the fact that you can build up some armor and avoid being one-shot by a Rek'Sai getting a decent flank onto you. Not to mention the mobility that he does have also. So certainly some things in favor of Gen.G as this game goes on. But if Rascal continues to play worse than 369 already with a lot of extra money, Ghostblade completed compared to the Build-A-Bear Workshop, as our friend LS would call it, put together by Rascal. Certainly is an early game that top esports can be very happy with. Knight down onto BDD. The pilfered ones that Knight had picked up.
Yeah, we're just chilling. You know, there's the Infernal Drake available. I think top esports should be trying to make moves towards that. Instead,
BDD gonna get flash knockup. There's the ulti, but the Void Rush is there, and in fact, not even required. As Knight's gonna pick up that kill very easily. Face check and brushes, not a great way to do it. And BDD thinking that he was a bit safer than he was, but this is, I mean, you were talking about jungle difference. I don't know whether this is like, it's not any slight onto Clid, but when Karsa is this fed, that you have to be so much more careful going into the darkness, no matter which side of the rift you're on.
Yeah, it's, you got to play against what the opponent has, you know, especially a Rek'Sai that can burst you down and is fed. He's got lethality already. He's got the one Dirk, plus the Warrior Enchant that's completed. And now top esports are getting proactive. I like this.
369 dives on in. Clid unable to do anything at all. Cosmic Radiance comes down, so Kennen is going to be alive for a while, but Ruler is already dead. Moonlight Vigil secures the kill onto Clid. And I think this is looking like the beginning of the end. 7-1 is the kill score now. 4,000 the gold lead. And we were talking about late games. I think Gen.G can probably say goodbye to a late game even existing.
You know what I like about this, too? This isn't really Gen.G making giant mistakes. It's like top esports are finding these little edges, and you can see Gen.G, they're not trying to be aggressive. They're trying to fight. But top esports are being so proactive, and they're finding the little angles and the perfect timings to go for the plays, and they're just straight up outplaying Gen.G. It's really cool to see. Like, not only this, I mean, this is just... We've seen this in solo queue, we've seen it in pro play. You got to be careful when you're going into a dark jungle where you have no vision. But this is really nice. Look at this ward. It's the TP ward. They prepared for this. And they had the Rek'Sai set up right after the Infernal Drake. Maybe Gen.G could have been a little bit farther down the lane to play even more safe. But they noticed that they were just a little bit up the lane. And I mean, there's not much to talk about in the fight because it was, 5v3. And they just totally wiped the floor with them, and now that's going to give top esports a massive lead with their nice mid-game composition.
Not to mention 369 transition his advantage into the bottom lane, where Ruler and Kennen were actually doing a decent job. And you can see that CS gap is certainly closed. Total damage dealt certainly in favor of 369 right now, but Karsa is absolutely no slouch. 900 gold for the Kennen is sort of a product of how this game has
damage
been going.
It's like he's just a passenger in the game. He's not really interacting with the enemy. He can't get near the Jayce, so he's just sitting there. Even Taric has more damage than him because Taric's interacting in the 2v2. And now, this might be when Ruler begins to make some mistakes.
Well, he's dead. Just decided that he wasn't going to be able to make it out there. Knight with a much better roam. BDD, needs to be a little bit careful. Almost in Shock Blast range there. As Kennen pretty close to it as well, as he's taking a lot of damage here. Karsa should be able to take down Shirley. As, they are... That one kill on the bottom side of the map has saved Gen.G from being perfect game at this point.
Yeah. Ruler giveth. Ruler taketh away. I suppose it's Ruler taketh and then giveth away in this case.
Yeah, I guess.
And yeah, you could see, he's really trying to press whatever angle he's got, right? He's like, if I could 1v1 solo kill, that would potentially get my team back in the game. And it's a good read by Knight to just say, okay, he's probably going to stay here. He's going to get greedy. And Ruler did exactly that. He got a bit greedy. Stuck around a little bit too long and wasn't able to get any kills or any damage or anything like that. And feeds a kill over to the Zoe, which is, again, not someone you want to feed kills to. That's even more value than giving kills to the Rek'Sai.
Also, Ruler's going Trinity Force, which I disagree with as well. The extra value that you get against 369, Karsa, and JackeyLove this game by picking up a Iceborne Gauntlet as an 80 carry is just insane. It's just really, really good. But Ruler not going to go there once the big 2-item power spike that is going to be late anyway.
Maybe he just feels like, I've got to take a risk in some way. Like, you can see it in his play where he's like,
you need the acceleration.
I gotta, push whatever edge I've got. Maybe I can 1v1. Maybe I can push the 80 carry and get a 5-10 CS lead through this. Maybe I can pick up Trinity Force and have like a sick pop-off mid-game fight. But I do agree. I think Iceborne Gauntlet is just, wow, better item.
Karsa has an edge of 9. That's impressive. Okay, Gen.G underneath their Sun turret, but everyone on the side of top esports are converging. Powered Shock Blast does not find the mark, but Gen.G just trying to see what their options are. Rascal can teleport in. This might be a teamfight opportunity that they could utilize, as the bubble is going to go wide as well. Ruler eventually gets here, but the flanking Ezreal isn't necessarily what you're looking for, but yuyanjia takes a fair bit of damage, and now Karsa's in trouble. There it is. Cosmic Radiance comes down as well, but the Void Rush is pretty good. Buys some extra time as BDD gets his kill. yuyanjia very, very low. JackeyLove down to half. Knight's at full, and 369 still scary, but it's one pick-off for Gen.G, and they'll take it.
Yeah, I guess they really weren't expecting the flanking Ezreal in this case, and Top Esports made it really obvious that they wanted to take a team fight straight up, and you know who's really great at that is Taric. And so the second they engage, it's just like, okay, I can press my R button and we're going to win this fight. And that's essentially what happened as, Ruler was also poking them in the back and flanking them. So Top Esports getting a little bit, antsy. They really want to push their lead and they don't want this game to go too long. But they got themselves into an awkward spot in this team fight.
Yeah, I actually really liked the fact that they utilized Ruler to get that extra poke damage down. Knight was then distracted, and Karsa, nothing he could do after BDD engaged. Good to see that BDD still has his eye in. His Azir looking as fantastic as ever. So we might have a game on our hands, guys, but 4,000 gold is still the lead here for top. They have the composition that wants to excel right now. They missed out on their first opportunity, but that does not mean that this comp isn't still strong, especially with JackeyLove's items. My god. Runans and the Infinity Edge. That is not a Warhammer. That is two big items.
Yeah. We were talking a lot about scaling, and the Aphelios is, we've seen that already today, what he can provide to a late game team fight. So even though you are going up against Azir, Ezreal, and Graves, JackeyLove could eventually, especially if he gets ahead like he is, can carry himself as they're going to try to push the issue.
Yep. We'll actually get a charge out of Shirley here as well, which is good news for top. Having to sort of emergency put it down as another Emperor's Divide under the turret. JackeyLove obliterated immediately, but BDD sacrificed himself for it. yuyanjia should be going down, but the turret also falls. And now Karsa looking to try and get his work done. There's the flash in, instant exhaust onto Rascal, but he goes golden. They grab the kill under the Thresh, and now Ruler is still alive. He's doing so much damage, but he is taken down so low by 369. Kennen tries to run away, and top is still so far ahead and needs to be respected. The flash from Knight, and he's not going to be duped by the Taric, and Knight gets the ace. This game could be very close to over.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to pick up the inhibitor here, but man, this is what I love about some of these LPL teams. They never back down from a fight, even when it's looking really scary. They see the Kennen, and they're like, okay, well, this is kind of scary. Immediate exhaust, and then the re-engage from Knight and 369 to do some incredible damage at the end of the fight. Even after it looks pretty good for BDD, you can see he's pretty low, but he knows he's got to go for this play. Finds JackeyLove into the stun, and you're like, okay, not a bad trade. And then you see the flank coming in, and then Taric gets a really nice stun here afterwards. You're thinking, oh, Gen.G might be able to win this one, but look at the re-engage here. 369 jumps in, they're all going forward, and they know that they've got the item advantage, they've got the damage advantage, and they're just able to, put the blinders on and just walk straight forward into the enemy team, even after a couple of really scary engages from the side of Gen.G. So Top Esports flexing, and now they've got 208 Jayce and 502 Zoe, who is almost at 3 items already at 22 minutes. And the siege is something that I think that Gen.G just might not be able to stand up to.
It's 13-5. 6,000 gold is currently the lead. It's just Top Esports with all of the control in the world. Opportunities, of course, for Gen.G based on the comp that they have to try and get back, and there is a Zhonya's now sitting under Rascal. BDD desperately wanting to get himself towards the stopwatch, but this Baron, not sure whether Gen.G are going to be able to get here in time. They do know that it's happening. Ruler should be able to have a true shot barrage. Does throw it forward, but it's not going to be enough to grab anything there. Is now Clid dashing forward looking for JackeyLove, but I think JackeyLove more than happy to take that fight as yuyanjia goes down to about half, but just the disengage. Free Baron over to Top Esports, and they're honestly just looking like the better team today.
Yeah, they drafted better in the blind pick, and they played it better, and now once again here in the real pick ban, they've just been outplaying Gen.G at every turn. Really, the only nice thing that happened for Gen.G was the Ruler pop-off 2v2. Yeah, ever since then, it's been only downhill. Top Esports do, in fact, look like the better team. It's not even just Knight. It's as a team, they're playing better here. As Gen.G, they're getting a little bit sneaky.
20 seconds until Mountain Drake. yuyanjia taking a bit of damage there from BDD. Okay, BDD has to avoid the bubble.
He's angry.
Yeah, they do have Cosmic Radiance, so Gen.G do have a lot of teamfight tools, and yuyanjia is very, very low. You can see JackeyLove, he's just going to go take an inhibitor.
All right, guys.
Yeah. The mid lane's become very short as Karsa moves on in. There's the slicing Maelstrom. Does have to use the Zhonya's now as the rest of the team slowly moving on in to try and lock down some kills, but Flash gets Karsa to safety. Inhibitor was taken away from, and now Rascal has to be really careful. Look at all the damage. Moonlight Vigil comes in, and that is an Emperor's Divide that was decent, but stopwatch for one of them, not enough damage for the other. Double kill comes through for JackeyLove, and Ruler is trying to escape, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Knight trying to dash around and look for him, but maybe Ruler's going to survive. The base probably not going to be so lucky.
Absolutely not. Just delay the back, push down the mid lane, and you should be able to win this game as, man, top esports looking like the favorites. I mean, even against the two teams we saw earlier today, they are just dominating Gen.G here in this best of 5.
This is a speed run, 24 minutes into 25 minutes. And I don't know what happened last night with Gen.G. Maybe celebrating early is something that they were doing. Remember, Top has had a lot of extra time, so I'm not going to make any excuses. This is just Top Esports domination so far this game. And it's not coming from where we were necessarily expecting, right? It's not like Knight is just hard carrying for his team. It's 369 just being so good. And we're looking for a pen so that we can...
there it is.
There we go. Yeah, got him. Give it to him again.
Yuyanjia again?
Yeah, give it to Yuyanjia.
No.
Again.
I handed it over to Karsa. I think he got the snowball rolling.
And he made Rek'Sai look like a champion worth picking.
You remember he auto-locked that Rek'Sai. They banned Lee Sin. He's like, okay, Rek'Sai.
Yeah.
On R4, he was like, no, you're not going to ban me out. And then we're so used to in the LCK, when I saw that pick, I'm like, I kind of like sigh to myself. I'm like, oh, I don't really like this. It doesn't really do much. And that's because in the LCK, it's so, it's so laid back, it's so defensive. They love to scale, but Karsa's not that kind of player.
He's not, but also it works really good in tandem with Zoe, especially around a mid-game that you are able to sort of move yourself towards. I think the Top Esports had a great composition, roaming around sort of like their poke into hard engage was something that you can do with a fed Jayce like they had, and Karsa buys a lot of time by being a Rek'Sai and being able to go untargetable. So just a really great composition. I think that we saw a little bit more out of Ruler this game, but he's now been through 2 supports and not found a victory.
Yeah.
I wonder whether Life is going to be coming back in, because actually...
Maybe you should go down there and maybe he wants a 3rd support.
Well, Wadid's here, so we know that there is an LCK level support. Also, he's a free agent. So if you want Wadid on your professional League of Legends team, then he is certainly someone that you should consider. Did win a game in the promotion tournament for Griffin, so you can go and watch that for some highlights. As this is the only Gen.G highlight that we have for this series so far.
Yeah, and it's just JackeyLove thinking that he can stand up to the Ezreal, but not the case. And once again, this is Karsa, right place, right time. And you were talking about that. It's the knock-up that...
The mini stun for the knock-up that got animation cancelled as the flash was coming in, but you, of course, can't stop the CC.
This is kind of just like the Karsa highlight reel.
It is.
But again, it comes down to team plays like this as well, that it caught Gen.G off guard in spots that weren't even necessarily that greedy to be in. They weren't that far down the lane.
Clid also just walked out of the Cosmic Radiance for fun.
Yeah.
Certainly it's a mix of Top just playing much better, having better ideas on how to play the game, understanding the meta a lot better, but it's also Gen.G making some weird mistakes that they were not making in their first day of play. It was a Gen.G that certainly had a whole lot more control. You remember their vision control around the map, things like this. Like, they looked like they were regular season Gen.G, but now we're getting playoffs, best of 5 Gen.G. And it's not like it used to be, I'll tell you that much. They used to get themselves to Worlds every year by winning Worlds Gauntlets. QV's gone, and so is that best of 5 prowess by the looks of things.
Knight coming in here, kind of just smurfing, The mid-jungle, it seems like, are just much better tonight from Top Esports.
Top jungle, I think, has been the biggest issue. Rascal's just looked...
That's true. Yeah,
he's looked like that platinum dude that's not giving the matchmaking a service right now.
Aphelios is a pretty cool champion.
Yeah. Look at that, 4K damage
Didn't
as a
even matter.
Kennen. It's not really what you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, after the play that, again, we don't have access to the comms. I don't know if it was Clid that was calling for the 2v1 up on the top side. You know, he was calling for the TP, like, let's go, let's take down Jayce. He's being a little bit greedy, he's overstaying.
Yeah.
But after that happened, whoever's fault it was, that was just the end of the top lane.
Yep.
There was no TP. There was TP advantage for Jayce, by the way, which is how they created that play on the bottom side of the map with the TP ward. So they had that. They had the win in the top side because Karsa was hanging around there.
Yep.
And shut down multiple lanes at the same time and got their mid-game siege comp super far ahead. And that's really all it came down to. A couple plays.
Yep. And also, yeah, the thing is, like, if you're Gen.G, what do you look at and go, we need to change this? It's like everything. It's like that meme of, like,
all of it.
He's really good apart from the this. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I think Clid's looked really off today as well, after having a good day yesterday.
Yeah, he looked better on the Elise.
Yeah.
You know, he looked better on that. 369 is going to pick up the player of the game.
Again?
As you said, I think it was like top jungle difference in this one.
Yep.
And well-deserved. I mean, it was either him or Karsa. I think Karsa deserved it more because he did more along the entire map. But Jayce
got caught out a couple of times as well, though, so I can understand.
Yeah, and the Jayce TP in the bottom side, that was also very key. So don't mind it at all. See his mechanics really on point here that allowed this to be a straight up double kill with no back kills. Here's the TP. Yeah, it kind of looks like these two teams aren't really playing at the same level right